the last few generations, America's health has been steadily declining. Drug rates have grown, obesity rates increased, suicide rates multiplied, and the average life expectancy is shortened. The United States has one of the highest child mortality rates of all the wealthy nations. My name is Mariah Zinner. I'm a freshman in college, and I've seen firsthand the increasing commonality of all these health issues. Today I'd like to talk about these changes, reasons they might be happening, and what we might do to fix it. Now more than ever, we need to protect our children, but how, and what happens if we don't? First, I'd like to talk about the increasing drug use that's been happening in adults and children all over the country. Walk into any room, how many people do you see are smoking, vaping, drinking, or overweight, and how many are teens? As of 2017, the U.S. reached an all-time low of young adult smokers at nearly 10%. That's still over 3 million people between the ages of 18 and 24. According to an article posted by the National Center for Drug Abuse Statistics, drug use rates for 8th graders went up 61% between 2016 and 2020. The average 8th grader is 13 to 14 years old. 62% of 12th graders have abused alcohol. 50% of teens have misused a drug at least one time in their life. By the 12th grade, 46.6% of teens have used an illicit drug. And lastly, 11.2% of overdose deaths are aged 15 to 24 years. According to another article posted by the University of Michigan, the only country to rank higher than the U.S. in student drug abuse rates was Czech Republic, which ranked 37% to our 35. It is well known that the use of drugs during childhood is not only a substantial health risk, but also puts them at risk of developing substance abuse issues into adulthood. It's important that children are protected from these risks, and I think that the protection requires more than simple laws. We need substantial societal influence as well. In recent years, a social movement has come about that promotes acceptance of all bodies regardless of appearance. This body positivity movement revolves around loving your flaws, and it's the first step in a lasting self-acceptance. Being comfortable in your skin is important to your mental health. However, is this mindset of accepting yourself as is realistically healthy? Our health is about more than aesthetics. Exercise and nutritious eating are essential to having a fulfilling life. While social media could be used to promote health, wellness, and happiness, it's teetering on promotion of unhealthy living for the sake of appearances. This could have ties to a significant problem our country is facing in regards to health, which is a spike in overweight and obesity rates. As of this year, CBS News stated that roughly 40% of American adults are obese, which is a decline from the all-time high of 42.4% we hit in 2020. 40% is still triple the rates from the year 1960, during which it was only 13%. It is also estimated that subtracting these obese individuals, roughly 30.7% of Americans are overweight. There's also been a fairly steady incline of childhood overweight and obesity rates, with rates nearly quadrupling from 5% in the 1970s to 19.3% as of this year. Along with a physical health decline, America has also been facing a mental health decline, with significant increases in mental disorder diagnoses. According to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration, in 2009, roughly 18.1% of U.S. adults had been diagnosed, and now it's closer to 20.3%, meaning 1 in 5 of American adults have been diagnosed with a mental disorder. Another study from 2018 showed 13% of American children had mental or behavioral disorders. Many factors may contribute to this mental health decline, but major one includes media, genetics, culture, substance abuse, and past trauma and biology. Not all of these are within our control, but unhealthy eating habits, drug use, media preferences, and sedentary living are all choices a person makes, and they are all proven to negatively affect a person's health. There's a saying that goes, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. I think this applies to numerous aspects of all of our individual lives, but also our culture. We aren't trying to improve the overall health in America, so it's not changing. During the coronavirus pandemic, the global average life expectancy shortened, but in 2021, the majority of countries began to bounce back. Not in America, though. Instead, it continued to decline. We have the lowest overall life expectancy of all the wealthy countries. Some major factors that may be contributing to this life expectancy decrease are heart disease, cancer, and chronic diseases. But there are ways to combat each of these, and it all starts with improving our dietary habits, physical activity, and lifestyle choices. It's much simpler to improve your own personal health, but the problem we run into is improving the health of our country as a whole. I think the best way to go about shifting towards a health improvement in the country is to implement societal changes where we promote healthy living and enforce better drug use and obesity prevention in schools. Students should be educated on how to take proper care of their bodies, and the media should promote self-improvement and love rather than self-acceptance.